So under these circumstances, I don't know how President Trump will be able to acquire, shall we say, conquer Gaza. Israel was supposed to do that for President Trump. So I think that this whole idea is just one of those loose ideas, which has not really taken the ground reality into account. I don't know if President Trump is aware of the ground reality, because he's in no position to dictate anything to President Putin, because on the ground realities in Ukraine are such that they have to respond to President Putin's demands for cessation of hostilities. President Putin has made it very clear that he will only stop the war if it can stop forever, and that means that if the security considerations or the security issues that Russia had raised can be addressed now and forever.
Watch Federal Post. Bold and independent.
Now, with all these changes, all these developments taking place, we see President Zardari making an official visit to China. And before him, our Interior Minister had a meeting with his Chinese counterpart. Amidst all these developments, how do you see these two countries coming into closer contact with each other?
Well, look, let me sort of just take you back a little bit. Pakistan has, under the present setup, with the military playing a major role under General Asim Munir, since the time of General Bajwa, Pakistan has tilted very strongly towards the United States in terms of the international, shall we say, competition between the United States and China and Russia on the other. And there are unconfirmed reports that Pakistan has been supplying ammunition even to the Ukrainians for their artillery. Now, since Pakistan had taken such a strong stand, and Pakistan had slowed down the development of CPEC, because one of the main objectives of even the Biden administration was the containment of China. And we have seen that President Trump has now come in with even greater emphasis on this particular aspect of his foreign policy, containment of China. So they are going to put further pressure on Pakistan to not allow quick, easy access for the Chinese CPEC through Pakistan to Gwadar and that region. Since Pakistan was delaying and slowing down on this, there are a number of press reports, and I even witnessed one situation in which the Chinese ambassador had been invited to the Pak-China Friendship Center, and the foreign minister, Mr. Ishaq Dar, made a statement which the Chinese strongly resented and refuted, where Mr. Dar said that our relations with China are so good that even when Chinese nationals are killed in Pakistan, China does not looks the other way, sort of. This is more or less what he had said, and
Yes.
China took great exception to that statement and said that no, not at all. For us, every Chinese is very important, and we are very perturbed by the lack of security for Chinese personnel in Pakistan who are working on CPEC. And following a number of incidents, China withdrew a number of their people who are working in Pakistan, and have been emphasizing that the security arrangements for the Chinese working in very far-flung areas on CPEC is inadequate. There are even reports, and not confirmed, that China has even offered to send their own security contingents to protect the Chinese. Pakistan has outright refused to accept that. So, and then on top of that, after Trump's election and now before his inauguration, Pakistan was bending over backwards to try and appease the new US administration under President Trump, and they sent their defense minister, whom you just mentioned, Mohsen Naqvi, to Washington instead
Interior
of
Minister. Yes, Interior Minister.
the foreign minister, which is very, very peculiar. And the
Yes.
interior minister has no experience dealing with the power centers of Washington. And he was, according to the reports, thoroughly ignored and not invited to the inauguration. And he kept on popping up everywhere, trying to portray himself as if he knows some people over there. He visited one or two congressmen, and for the present government, the main agenda, the Pakistani government, the main agenda has been how to contain Imran Khan and his popularity. And lo and behold, even Congressman Joe Wilson tweeted that free Imran Khan, and another congressman also said something similar. So they received a very negative response from the developing power groups in Washington. And then to make it worse, Mohsen Naqvi is reported to have attended a meeting or a conference in which was about overthrowing the regime in China. So this went down very badly with China, because Pakistan is considered to be an all-weather friend for many decades. And how could this government do that? Now, the way I read it was that the present government is so keen to befriend President Trump, new administration, President Trump's admission, that they were ready to sacrifice even China for that. So now
Yeah,
I think that President
but at the same
Ghani,
time, Dr. Saab,
let me just
we see Mohsen
I
Naqvi visiting China. Yes, please go ahead.
now only to make up for the faux pas, not a faux pas, but a deliberate mistake overdone. That mistake is now they're trying to rectify that. Now, Chinese
Hmm.
are not so light people that they will just one sorry and they will forget about. They see this as a sign of unreliability, and and a sign that Pakistan does not value the deep strategic and economic relationship with China that Pakistan has developed. So I think this
Hmm.
is going to be a serious issue, which will probably be resolved only if and when the government in Pakistan is changed. And I personally think that one aspect that people have not really spelled out officially, because it's not official, is that there is a feeling amongst the government people in Pakistan and maybe the military that President Trump, because he had a good relationship with the then Prime Minister Imran Khan, that he might throw in his weight and demand that Imran Khan, because he's not receiving proper justice in Pakistan, that he should be given a fair trial, that the last elections should be the results should be honored, and so forth. So they are waiting. They're trying to sort of, shall we say, prevent that pressure to develop on the Pakistan government.
So, is that perceived pressure uh, due to which Pakistani government officials, or the top level Pakistani officials, namely Mohsen Naqvi, and of course the president himself, they are engaging with China at this time, so that the American pressure could be countered, or the both sides could be balanced.
Well, not exactly, because China is not involved in this particular tug of war. Pakistan's relationship with China is all weather. It is constant. It has always been very strong. The shall we say, misdemeanors of this government representative in Washington are being they're trying to offset. China will not enter into any sort of discussions about how Pakistan deals with Imran Khan or otherwise. They want to see the rule of law and they want to see a stable form of government in Pakistan, which is the democratic system or the constitution. So they will not enter into particular debates about which party or whoever. They keep good relations with the state of Pakistan and with the government of Pakistan. So I
Right.
think they have gone. These people have gone now only to rectify the mistakes they made in Washington recently.
Right. So how stable does the government look at the moment? Because they are claiming that they have put the economy right on the right track. Things are looking all right with lowered policy rate and low inflation, which they are claiming stands at around somewhere 4.5%. How does it all look to you?
Well, look, I tell you one is that a lot of the good data is concealing some very important weaknesses in the economy which persist and have not changed. Inflation has come down. The headline inflation has come down, but the core inflation, the inflation that is the result of monetary policy, has not come down. It is still in double digits. It is the food inflation which has come down only because of the high base period growth in food inflation. And similarly, the fuel prices have come down because of the adjustments made earlier, and now there are less increases. So it's only in terms of the shall we say the English press that people might be impressed that inflation has come down, but the poor man is not seeing a decline in any prices. The prices continue to rise, and the core inflation is very much there, and interest rates may have come down in nominal terms, but in real terms, they have increased phenomenally. Interest rates were 22% when inflation was over 20%. Now, the headline inflation is down to, as you say, 4-5%, but interest rates are still at 15-16. So the real interest rates are phenomenally high, and they are biting into businesses' profits in a very negative manner. It is no surprise that the most fundamental aspect of the weakness of our economy, the lack of investment, has not changed at all. Pakistan, the military took upon itself that they are going to ensure that foreign investment comes into it and they into Pakistan. They set up the so-called SIFC, which has failed completely. Not a single dollar worth of investment has come into Pakistan. They are trying to now bring in the Saudis to invest in the Rikodik mine, which is already under development by foreign investors, which is a legacy from the Musharraf era. So there is nothing new that is happening, and domestic investment is completely at a standstill. You can see the
Yes, that the
stock market.
domestic investment, we have a news today. Uh, our newspapers are ripe with this, with news that the property is going up. And people are taking money out of banks from their bank accounts, and they are putting money into this real estate sector. And the files which were somewhere around a million or 2 million rupees, now they're value has gone up by 5 million to 7 million rupees. That's the news these days. How do you
Well,
see
I
that?
think these are feel-good narratives. But unfortunately, the government is indulging in nothing more than what they call the narratives. Narratives, by its very definition, means a pack of lies to try and create an impression that things are going one way or the other. Genuine and good journalism will not support these kind of claims with any tangible, shall we say, figures. There are very few transactions in the market. So how come the values have gone up by so much? They are trying to reduce some taxes on real estate, but I mean the impact will take time. Why will people suddenly now offer so much more money for real estate? We have yet to see that. And even if real estate prices go up a little bit, that is not an indication that the economy is doing well in any way. See, the fact is that there's also a lot of news during the last 1 year that the number of Pakistanis who are investing in Dubai and elsewhere in the world is growing by the day. The number of bright young people who are leaving the country, the number of students who have left the country to study abroad and work there and never return. I sit on the board of one of the leading universities, and we know that we are finding it very difficult to attract the high quality students who are all going abroad, because parents want the students to leave the country, their children to leave the country and make a career abroad. These are the most important, I would say, shall we say, indicators of how people view the future, the immediate future of this country. When you see the issues regarding the rule of law are aggravating by the day. We have seen that the Supreme Court has been, shall we say, been subjected to government controls through the 26th Amendment. And as a result, the Supreme Court is in total disarray. Every day we find different groups making various claims. We have, because since the government could not get its way through the majority of members in various benches, they are now packing the benches with new hiring, and the new hiring is not according to merit or according to the old procedures. So when a country's Supreme Court is in total disarray, I think this is a state of anarchy, because anarchy is defined as a situation in which the difference between right and wrong cannot be determined by any authority which has the support and the confidence of the people of that country. So we are playing havoc with this country by by interfering in the high judiciary. The judges are up in arms on this. The legal community is up in arms on this, and we are thinking that people are going to invest in this country. I think we have got the. We were not looking at the ground realities like President Trump.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zubair Khan Saab, for your time and sharing your thoughts with us. And thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Khuda Hafiz, Pakistan, Zindabad.